The end of January means the beginning of tax season. Odds are you've already received your W-2 or you're waiting for it to come in the mailbox very soon. Here with more on what we need to know before filling out our tax forms is Minnesota's Revenue Commissioner, Cynthia Bauerly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The first thing to remember that we were just discussing that came as a surprise to me, we actually have a couple extra days this year to file.
That's right. We open for income tax filing season on January 19th. And this year, instead of the traditional April 15th deadline, because April 15th is a holiday in Washington, D.C., where the federal government is located, the federal government has extended the deadline until April 18th. And so to make it easier on our customers, we're going to align to the same date here in Minnesota.
That's very good to know. Not that, you encourage people to wait till the last minute, but April 18th is the date to remember. Okay,
That's
anything
right.
else new this year with filing or deductions that people should be aware of?
Well, there are a lot of great deductions here in Minnesota. Some are for school supplies for your children, for example, or there's a child care deduction. And some of these have been around for quite some time in Minnesota. And the thing we want people to remember is that if you use electronic filing software, that's going to help prompt you through all of that. The most up-to-date information is on our website, so we want to make sure people are using the best information when they file their taxes.
And whether it's paper form or online, the privacy always becomes a concern.
Absolutely.
People aren't used to doing it one way or another, but there's lots of extra steps that are taken to secure the privacy.
Absolutely. We are always concerned about protecting Minnesota's information and their tax refunds. And so at the department, we use technology, we use analytics, and we use manual review to make sure that the right refund is going to the right person. And we do really encourage electronic filing software. It is going to be the fastest and most effective way to get your taxes done and to get your tax refund. And there's information on our website where people can access some of those software products for free based on certain eligibility requirements. So if you go to our website and enter free file, you'll be able to get access to those.
And you mentioned that, this is the time that we're sort of waiting for the mailman to bring our W-2. When should we get concerned if we haven't seen it? At what point should we contact someone?
Well, we want to make sure that people do have the information that they need when they file. And so some of those documentation can come from employers or from other financial individuals. And so there are different deadlines for when they receive those. But I think if you haven't seen it by mid-February, you can certainly make a call to try to get access to that information. We do want to make sure people have what they need when they file.
And as far as getting organized, this is the time to get all your receipts and deductions. Are there any that are the most common ones that you think people miss?
Well, I think a lot of people don't know about some of the great tax benefits here in Minnesota. Again, like the K-12 school supplies or tutors that people have for their children.
And that can be anything? That can be pencils, notebooks?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Anything that's required for that school. So that school supply list that you had in the fall, we encouraged people all summer long to save those receipts so that they could take those. Music instruction, for example. And then again, child dependent care is another great benefit for families in Minnesota. Child care is expensive and we want our kids to have great child care. So that's another one that we always encourage people to take a look at. And so again, if you use software, it will walk you through all of those prompts to make sure that you are claiming what you're entitled to.
Do you find that more and more of us try to do it ourselves and have a lot of success in that? Do you recommend that?
We don't make recommendations about how people should go with their taxes. Everyone's going to have a different situation. But we do always encourage electronic filing and direct deposit. So if you request your refund to come in direct deposit to your bank account, you're going to get it much faster than if we have to mail a check to you.
Oh, absolutely. That's definitely the way to go. What about, a lot of us, it's so early. I mean, it's the right time, but a lot of us don't really start thinking about, maybe I'm exposing the procrastinator in myself, but until, April.
Sure.
But really, this is the time to get organized.
You certainly can. And yes, you should be getting organized and you should file when you have it ready. And of course, you do have until April 18th. But if you're going to be getting a refund, we obviously can't send that to you until you file your taxes. And so the sooner you file, the sooner we're going to be able to get any refund to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Cynthia. We appreciate your time. We know it's going to be a very busy few months for you. So we appreciate it very much. Have a great Sunday.